he said that when your fire extinguisher engines were coming in, there was no siren. Everything was standstill. And at some point, I was there personally, but I came late because there was an event in town. He was saying that some people actually wanted to block your fire extinguisher because there was no indication that it was coming for the rescue. What is your take on that? I see Mr. Michael want to say something.
Let me pick it somewhere. You see, whether without a siren or with a siren, did we manage to put out the fire? I think that should be the bigger part of it.
Yes.
We will not be sitting here discussing somebody who's displeased that the siren was supposed to. That will not make sense in any way. If the vehicle did not cause any accident by the time it was moving, I remember, you see, sometimes I've worked into emergency for so long. The essence of that siren is to clear the way. I don't know at what point did that siren not work. I don't know at what point. But the idea of siren and that will not be something else. Number two, we are human beings. When a disaster happens, that is an opportunity for some people to loot. If you were in town yesterday, you saw how the firefighters was traveling with the same one inch you were complaining. Were you there?
I was there.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
Did you see the firefighters and the 1 inch in the same pipe?
I did see the struggle between the two teams.
Were they given time to do their work?
Now that brings me to another question.
Before that question,
there is something you are in. One, the siren was there. We have the video recordings. Anyone saying is just playing cheap politics. Those vehicles came on siren. Even the tractor, a tractor does not have a siren. The tractor that was coming for rescue. And then the smoke was too much in town. Everybody was running. Somebody still expects a siren. We had cleared the highway. All the vehicles that were at the stage, tulitoa tukapeleka kwa lami, tukawambia these are seen for rescue. Because we were rescuing people. The traders, we told them hakuna kuuza until we finish. We even called Kenya Power. By the way, I didn't mention that.
Yeah, I saw the.
You saw Kenya Power. Yeah. We managed to call Kenya Power. They disconnected the lines.
The power. So
that there could be no more disaster. Then we called the police. We called the Department of Enforcement. We called the Department of Fire Engine. We called Sony Sugar to bring us. Surely the county government did its best.
I see Mr. Michael has something burning in his heart.
You see, we need to talk to our people. When there's an emergency in town, it's always chaotic. It's always chaotic.
Now,
and that will not give the emergency responders to do their work.
I just want to ask this. I believe it is in line with what you are saying. What is the role of public?
The role of the public in an emergency situation will lend a helping hand. But when instructed by those who are commanding the incident. The police are to take charge of crowd control while all this is going on. But you realize the police are overwhelmed by this magnitude of people. We have people who want to loot. We have people who want to take scrap metals. We have people who also want to help genuinely. They really want to support.
Yeah.
So you have three kind of people in this scenario. You are a firefighter in between. We have 2 firefighters who are injured because of the struggle, for your information. So we are calling upon the public and the residents of Migori. One day I went to respond to a fire in Rongo, not even one day. Just last week, there was a fire incident in Rongo. In Rongo, when we went there, everybody they gave us time. They gave us time, walikaa chini, wakasimama hivi, and they told us, nyinyi mfanyeni kazi. When we needed their help, you would go there and tell them, hii nyumba ni ya nani? Ni ya yule, ako pale, akuja funga. So there was a lot of coordination with peace, but when you come to town, look at the accident we had in town, the 2 accidents.
Yeah.
Rise.
There are people that lost their lives because of the crowd that was
there.
the way they were handled. So sometimes you might blame so much on emergency responders, but the public also they have a problem.
They have a role.
And they have a role to play. Number two, in that incident, I was there personally, and I also suffered severe burns. You can see in my hands.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That place was messy. When we arrived there, we started from behind. So they did not know that we had started putting out fire from Osaka point.
Osaka side.
They did not know. So when they saw our vehicle come, that's the time they realized that we were there. So they did not know that tulikuwa huko nyuma. That is number one. Number two, look at how those structures were built. Accessibility was a problem. You find a building is burning in between. Even if you connect two lines, you still not get there because there's a wall erected. There's a small door. You have to break that door. Get into that door. There's another bend.
Another bend.
So it becomes difficult to give it that maximum suppression to put out that fire. So you'll get another view. That's why it would change to come in the front.
You'll have to come to the front again.
Front again to start another. And when you're coming to the front, people are struggling. We understand there are guys who want to salvage their property. That is very right. But you realized there are vehicles lined. There are people, there are people. You are an emergency responder, there's a fire there. You put on a line, everyone goes to that line. They start struggling. What will you do?
Nothing.
What will you do as a responder? What will you do as a firefighter? So we really want to call our people that when this emergency strikes in Migori town, specifically Migori town, let us give the emergency responders time to do their work. Because you are doing your job, people are all hurling insults to you. That is normal. People are talking nasty about you. We are all people from Migori. All of us. And by the way, if our main goal in the fire service or in emergency response is to save lives and protect property. That's only. No. But when there's a struggle, sometimes
the point is driving and which we want to build on.
And I was taught way back that when there's a struggle, the only thing you can do is to evacuate. If your safety is compromised in an emergency scene, the only thing you do is to evacuate.
And there's something I want to remind you.
Yeah.
Are you aware the owners of those shops were not around? It was our team that was calling them one by one. They were not around. They were all closed. Even the owner of this big shop where we rescued a lot of things, they were not there. So that's number one. Number two, are you aware that where they got backed, me, I collapsed and I was rescued by my enforcement team. When smoke, we took the fire engine behind. When we were coming back, kumbe moto iko mbele na smoke, I lost it. Hapo mbele nikashikwa. Collins and Robert, I think they are the ones. I had to go for water. They managed to rescue a body that was already burning to ashes. Na wakapeleka mortuary without gloves. Another thing, he was telling you about Rongo and Bigori.
Yeah.
Comparing it. Are you aware that when that fire went up, it woke up some people who are in Pandupieri and these slums,
Yeah.
Now they came thinking Zamzam is on fire. Now they are coming to loot. They are the people who gave us the most headache now. Before they arrived, these Matatu operators, the Matatu Sako, the Ogobe team, the Manambas, they did a wonderful, they were helping us. Watu wenye stage, walikuwa wanasaidia huyu mama kutoa vitu zake to safety. Wacha watu kutoka Islam inaitwa aje hii iko ngambo ile Suna East.
Towards the river.
Wafike. It was chaos. Hawa wanafunga barabara. Now they were coming na magunia. So you are rescuing human beings, you are rescuing property, goods, and it was now chaotic. And they were giving us hard time.
Mr. Lumo, a life is lost in fire. Properties are lost. Is there a point whereby the county government comes in in a situation whereby a life was lost like yesterday?
The county government didn't start the fire.
I know.
So I can't commit that the county government has voted for coming in when such a thing happened.
Like
However,
the support.
yeah, the support is there. Today, our Department of Trade already sent the trade officers. They have picked the details of the shop owners who were affected, so that they can give them some financial support in terms of the cooperative department domiciled in trade. There is some money then they give to traders. So how they'll do it is their way.
It's their way.
That is the support they'll give them. In terms of the family who got burnt, the Department of Disaster Management will find a way of assisting the family get a support. But it is something that if we start, like others were lying that it was Kenya Power, that no, ilikuwa makaa. It was not county government. Ilikuwa makaa ya mtu ilishika moto kwa nyumba, ikafanya nini? So that is the part of the county government. The other area he talked about, which I want to build on, as the town administrator. We plan the town and tell the public this is how it's supposed to be built. But at night, unakuta mtu amekuja akaongeza container ingine, because houses are supposed to have fire space between them. If this is a building, it is supposed to have a corridor here between this building and this building. But people have connected these buildings. The corridor left, unakuta saluni imewekwa, kinyozi, store. Hakuna corridor. Houses are connected throughout. And if you want to remove them, unaambiwa hakuna kura, tunakupima, unakupima nyumba zetu, hatutakuchagua tena. So as a county government, you also balance, because we are a political system, you also balance your future with this one here, because unataka kutengeneza mtu anakuambia.
Now you are saying you have to balance. Now let us strike the balance now. Tell me, the county has planned. There's the town plan.
Yes.
This is the way that the fire extinguishers can use.
Yes.
And somebody has come and has built there a structure. I believe the county government has the mandate, the authority to deal with that structure.
Yes.
Then if you are saying the county government has to wait, this is political. Is that compromise?
Now let me give you this.
Yeah.
You know Nyinjo?
I know Nyinjo.
There is a road that is known, public, a big one. From Pesoda to Nyinjo, the old road.
Yeah.
Sindio? We are opening it for accessibility, so that for emergency cases, the response team would get accessibility. Then somebody goes to court and say, we don't need a road here. Why don't you use the other road? Now yesterday, it was a case which vindicated us why we need accessibility. You want to open something, someone goes to court that you are destroying their property, you are infringing on their right, then they start bringing claims. So these things, they delay the fulcrum, the fulcrum of the county government development. They delay, they stop it, because you have a court order. You're doing something, then someone brings a court order. You can't act on that court order. Yeah, like this Osaka road, it was earmarked for development by the county government. Are you aware? Residents have built structures along that road which was being opened. Na wanaendelea wako na mbao hapo, wameweka nyumba ya mbao mpaka nyuma, just walk there tomorrow. And they are citizens of Migori, residents of this vicinity, who witnessed the fire, and they have connected those houses mpaka kule nyuma.
My dear viewers, like I said earlier, it is getting hot and hot and hot. Now, I wish I had a fire extinguisher with me around, but we are going to have a short break. When we are back, I'm going to read the comments from the comment section, and I'm also going to take your questions. Then we are going to ask them questions that you have sent to us. We are taking a short break. We are going to be right back in a little while. Keep tuned.
Welcome to Blackman Digital Graphics. We offer design, printing and branding services using large format printing, offset and digital printing. Our approach to printing, graphics design and branding is top-notch with quality services including roll-up banners, street banners, teardrops, reflective banners, telescope banners, vehicle branding, road signages, mugs, badges, t-shirts, polo shirts, hoodies, pens, letterheads, business cards, envelopes, receipt books, brochures, flyers, posters, calendars, magazines, wedding cards, plastic ID cards, funeral programs, and many more. We also have indoor and outdoor videography, photography, and live streaming services. Visit us at our Migori Market, Onyinjo Bridge, Tiendege Stage offices. Call or WhatsApp us through 0721 37 9308 or 0736 35 2224. Connect with us on YouTube and Facebook at Blackman TV. We are on TikTok as BTV Kenya and also Blackman Studios on Facebook as well. Blackman Digital Graphics. Quality you can trust. Welcome to Blackman Digital Graphics. We offer design, printing and branding services using large format printing, offset and digital printing. Our approach to printing, graphics design and branding is top-notch with quality services including roll-up banners, street banners, teardrops, reflective banners, telescope banners, vehicle branding, road signages, mugs, badges, t-shirts, polo shirts, hoodies, pens, letterheads, business cards, envelopes, receipt books, brochures, flyers, posters, calendars, magazines, wedding cards, plastic ID cards, funeral programs, and many more. We also have indoor and outdoor videography, photography, and live streaming services. Visit us at our Migori Market, Onyinjo Bridge, Tiendege Stage offices. Call or WhatsApp us through 0721 37 9308 or 0736 35 2224. Connect with us on YouTube and Facebook at Blackman TV. We are on TikTok as BTV Kenya and also Blackman Studios on Facebook as well. Blackman Digital Graphics. Quality you can.
As I stated earlier, we are back. And let me just take some few comments here. Then after that, I'm going to give Mr. Michael opportunity to say something that is burning in his heart. Now we have Zamzam. Zamzam is saying you responded in time. You tried your best.
Thank you.
I also have this one from Kennedy. Kennedy is all the way from Nyasare. Kennedy is saying it is the public. They need to be sensitized on matters that are involving emergencies. Then we have Ken. They only have one name, Ken. Ken is saying even if it was so, the public had a role to play. They should not be rubbished out. I'm not taking any more. Let me welcome Mr. Michael.
Let me take it from Ken. Ken, thank you so much. One thing we have to understand, we know that there is a role of the public too in terms of emergency response.
Yeah.
However, the first responders to emergency are the public or the community. They will be the first people because maybe only will not be in town all the time, but we will get information from public. That's the response. I might not be in town full time. I'll get that communication from a public. So we are not rubbishing off the public. We are saying, could we have some decorum when we are dealing with emergency or during an emergency response? Something I wanted to say about water.
Yeah.
People are complaining water got finished.
Yeah.
Looking at the magnitude of that fire, however much you add even 10 engines, we cannot resist water to get finished in a fire engine, because the magnitude of the fire was so big, and that's why you see Sony was coming on board. Remember, in my first comment I talked about capacity.
Yes.
At that point we became vulnerable, so the only thing we could do, boost our capacity. How? Call the Sony. You even saw their water also got depleted. It is not a crime for water to get depleted in an emergency scenario, in a fire incident. However, we will put, there are measures that are going on, there are discussions that are going on, so that we do water hydrants or water points on a normal layman language within town, so that the vehicle don't go far to refill water. So the long-term solution will be there. The county government, I know they will be doing something, so that we have water points in town, so that when we have a big incident like that, one thing, fire has no calendar, and sooner or later we are going to experience another fire. We don't know where. Even today, Mudi told me there was a fire.
Actually, today, Oluma said there was fire outbreak in Ombo Market.
Yes.
And I would like you to talk about that kidogo after it's finished.
So we need to really prepare both the public and the government and other stakeholders, so that we work in synergy. We really need to deal with these guys who are coming to loot. That's where it gets messy.
Yeah.
Looting and response, it gets messy. So for the people of Migori, we are really urging you that whenever we have disasters within town, let us not focus much on the property that you will pick one mattress you go home with. Then let us focus more on salvaging property, lending a helping hand by supporting firefighters when called upon. Because now, if firefighters don't clear that area safe, then nobody should be going into that building in a normal emergency scenario. When you see a burning building, never return back to that building. That is the standard procedure. The guy who lost his life, may his soul rest in peace, and we are very sorry for the family. I know the pain of losing a property, but a property vis-a-vis a life, we can always rebuy or rebuild, but we cannot always replace life. So when you see a burning building, however much you have a precious item in your building, please don't return back to a burning building. And this is a caution to everyone. I want to give you a scenario. I responded to a gas cylinder fire in Magina. So we were called, quick response, we were there, the fire was engulfed. But you see this guy, the gas is still leaking. The sound of tss, and this fire. So this is now where we used the azomat technique. We removed the gas, we know how it's done, and then we salvage that area. So we realized when we reached, people were pouring water on gas. Water will not extinguish gas. One day you call me, I will teach wananchi on how to deal with the gas cylinder fire.
Yeah.
So let us be vigilant and call. Sometimes people blame the fire brigade that they come late. Let me tell you one thing. Sometimes you call me because you know me. I know the people working in the fire department. So before I convert that call to the fire department, it is already late. If we could have their numbers, we'll give their numbers here. You call direct, they get that signal very fast, so then they roll to the scene. But this circumstance scenario, somebody calls a director in a department. Director hata shughuliki na hii mambo. Or he calls someone who he knows in the county government. Anyone mwenye anafanya county. Unaweza jua namba ya watu ya kuzima moto. Hiyo jamaa maybe ajui is looking for it. So we are losing time. A good response turn-off time should be 5 minutes. Turnaround time should be 5 minutes. In the airport, it is 3 minutes. So within 5 minutes,
the fire should be contained.
Not the fire should be contained. The responders should be on the vehicle moving to that area of the fire. you should be en route to the scene within 5 minutes, if they're within the station. Depending on the distance, sometimes distance also.
Yeah.
Because if we have a fire in Rongo, how far is Migori from Rongo? The vehicle has to move. We are not using an aeroplane.
No, that's why I asked Mr. Olumwa earlier that what are the mechanisms that the county government has put in place in order to fight up the emergencies, things that we didn't anticipate. Like, now let me bring the question home. Do we have fire extinguishers and a fire brigade in the small towns within the county? I've only heard you've talked about Rongo. I mean, you've talked about Sony mostly. But in these other small towns, do you have the firefighters in those areas, or do you have to rely on the fire brigade from Migori town?
Currently, we have the team domiciled at the county headquarters, which is a challenge. We realized yesterday that we need to devolve the fire response in Kiancha, in Awendo, because one in Awendo would cover the sugar belt.
Yeah.
Two at the headquarters, and one in Kiancha would do, because from here to Isibania, that vehicle can do 10 or 15 minutes. The challenge we have, these equipments are not cheap. They are not cheap, they are expensive. One fire engine is almost 96 million. And you can do a requisition, it's supposed to be approved up there. So if you need 4 of them, you are talking about 500 million. What we need to have, number one, I realized yesterday, with good public civic education, we would have contained that fire. Civic education is what was lacking. One engine was enough to put it off. One engine was enough. What we need is civic education. In case of fire, what do you do? Because like he's telling you, the person who lost his life, several people got injured because they went back to rescue property. So they need to be taught about smoke, oxygen, blah, blah, exhaustion. That's number one. Because fire doesn't have a calendar like he's saying. But if we are not prepared, but mitigation measures are there, and the response, the better. Again, you asked me about what happened this morning. That's why I'm telling you that we need public education on fire issues. Yeah. 2 guys were left to burn fish at Ombo Market by these ladies selling in town. Then he lifted the frying pan, akaweka nje hivi hapo on the tables. It picked fire. The boy went for water, poured water on the fire that was burning with the oil. It went up, ikashika roof. Fortunately, I was at the market, and there's a guy I called Peter, kujeni, soko inachomeka. So they responded, na nikawaambia, usitumie maji, use sand. And there was sand available. We need to have in our shops sand. We need to have fire extinguishers. We need to have dust. Because when we have these things, when they are poured around, it can be better. Yesterday, people were using water to extinguish the flame. Water out of combustion, it produces oxygen, and that oxygen supports combustion. So the flame was going. So what do? Such shops, they need fire extinguishers. The Department of Municipality developed a policy to have all shops with fire extinguishers. We started doing arrests to enforce. They said now mnatuumiza, uchumi ni mbaya. If everyone had a fire extinguishers, all those shops, they would have helped to some extent. Okay. You getting me?
Now, for the interest of time, Mr. Michael, you have worked in different counties. What are some of the challenges that you have faced, or the fire brigade, or the emergency rescue team faces in such situations, some of the challenges that you faced and some of the challenges that you currently face?
For the past years, mostly in the fire brigade, most majorly is about equipment. Like Umuni was saying, they are very expensive, by the way. For a firefighter to put on from top to bottom, because this guy needs to be protected. Look at that smoke yesterday.
Yeah.
That is very toxic. We have two types of smoke. We have the white and the black. If you see a black smoke, that is toxic, and that is a very difficult fire to deal with. So for a firefighter to put on from head to toe for protection, that will cost around 1.2 million. A standard NFPA PPE will go for
1.2 million.
1.2 million. However, we can always buy the substandard ones, which are locally manufactured. We can always get it. So there are a lot of challenges in terms of PPE, in terms of equipment, and then there's the challenge of the public, the struggle. I think you will saw that, the struggle. You know, these firefighters, they also have families. They also have properties in town. So that's why the urge to respond to salvage someone's property, they also think of theirs. They are also human beings. Number three, I think the county government has tried. Much as we are living in a political environment, the county government has tried. They have fire brigade that is functional. However, there are few challenges. Of course, even in this your studio, there are challenges.
The challenges everywhere.
They will be there. But we always see which one to deal with. We prioritize. If today we had issues with the water, because the capacity of the vehicle, what will we do good next time? We have what we call AAR, after action review in emergency. So we sit down, talk what worked well, what did not work well, what should we improve, what are the challenges. So we do it best or better next time. So challenges are there, so many of them, but we really want to call our people. Let us support what the firefighters or emergency responders are doing. Fire extinguishers, things like having a dry sand at your, it will not help a firefighter, it will not help the county government. It will help you and your business. And even in this your studio, we have power, electricity. In case of fire in this building, do you know, even knowing that that door will be a problem where we are seated here? It will be a problem. Number one, that door should be as clear with no barrier. So there are small things, very small that we ignore. You realize somebody gets home, he watches TV at night, as in EU TV, he leaves it on power, goes to sleep. There's a gas cylinder inside that building. Steamer can come back with a lot of high voltage. What will happen? So there are just small nitty-gritties that we can prevent, like Umundi was saying. The things that we can just small that we can prevent. Because
for the interest of time, allow me to condole with the family who lost their son in Milimani area. There was a boy who went to swim with other boys, unfortunately lost his life. We are saying, Poleni sana, may the Lord comfort you and your family. I believe such are the incidents where the emergency rescue team need to be involved a lot. So we are saying Poleni sana. Mr. Michael,
yes,
I want to give you 1 minute.
yes,
Look into the camera and talk to the public. Your
Uh,
last word and your parting shot.
okay, thank you. I really want to appreciate the time that have been given here. However, I really want to encourage our people to lend a supporting hand and give the emergency responders time to do their job. We understand you have a role to play. We really obey that. But let us work together in synergy. Lastly, I'll give you the county government fire brigade number for those who are writing. That is 07 69 314 019. And for Kenya Red Cross, you call 1199.
Can you repeat the numbers again?
Kenya county government, the fire brigade Migori County is 07 69 314 019. So call us directly. That phone is 24 hours. And for Kenya Red Cross, call 1199. They will be there to help or lend a helping hand when you have emergency within town. Let us stay safe and let us build a prosperous Migori County. Thank you so much.
Mr. Olumwa,
Yes.
Director, your parting shot and a word to the Migori County residents.
I want to thank you for giving us the audience. One, I want to advise shopkeepers and owners of property, when there's disaster, don't attempt to lose your life because of your property. Yesterday, the daughter to Alpha and the other lady wanted to go inside because of the property. Don't lose your life because of earthly things. Two, I want to request our people, first, let's save life before we rush to saving property. Let's not attempt to do looting during that time. Three, always give the rescue team accessibility and easy time. At times, we are trying to save life and you're trying to loot. That one is giving us a bad name. Last but not least, I want to admit that the county government of Migori and Dr. Chilo Ayako's government is prepared to make sure that all of you are safe. We are doing our best to make sure our environment is secure. In cases of any disaster, don't panic. Just call the numbers that have been given so that we can respond to save life. Your life matters to us, and we are here for service delivery. Thank you again for watching, and always stay tuned to BTV Kenya.
I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Michael and Mr. Olumwa. Thank you for spending time just coming to educate people, to help people know what to do in times when disaster strikes. My dear viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned to BTV Kenya. Until such a time like this, we will keep you informed. Keep following, keep asking questions, keep sending your comments. We'll be here to sample them. We are taking this break for tonight. We'll be back. God bless you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Welcome to Blackman Digital Graphics. We offer